One. Hey, we are back. Thanks for joining us here. We just watched the 8U Colts lose to the 8U Cowboys. That was a great game, Eric. What do you think?
Yeah, it was an awesome game. I was hoping a little bit closer score, but I think the Colts in the second half gave a ton of effort. They were able to punch the ball in, but proud of both teams. You know, surprisingly, both of those teams are new to rookie tackle. They did not play 7U rookie tackle, which is our 6-on-6 format. They jumped into the league this year, and that tells you a lot about the coaches, the commitment they had, and then obviously the kids going out there and performing.
Speaking of great coaches, Eric, tell me about you.
Yeah, Tony, thanks for that. I coached in the league for 10 years. I had 3 sons go through this league. My youngest son, Blake, he just finished.
Shout out to Blake.
Shout out to little boo-boo. He just finished. We lost in the semifinals. But, yeah, it's
Mom's a heck of a coach, I hear.
Yes. Courtney Reed is one of the best Moach coaches I've ever seen in my life. Moach coach.
Mom coaches?
Mom coach. That's the Moach.
Moach coach. Awesome stuff. So what do we got on the lineup here? We're moving into 11U ball, right?
Yes, we are done with our rookie tackle divisions, and we are transitioning to, I don't want to call it real football, but 11-on-11 full field.
Yeah, modern day ball.
Modern day
ball. So we've eliminated the cones. We've put the end zone markers back to where they're supposed to be. So everything's back to a normal alignment. And when you watch the game, you're going to see the normal setup that we have with sidelines and the normal etiquette of an 11-man game.
Yeah, and we've got 2 really good teams. The Ravens, coached by
Guy Tolliver.
Guy Tolliver, yep. And then we have the Sun Devils, coached by
Buddy Neighbors.
Buddy Neighbor, yeah. And then I'll say this about this division, this 9U division. It's a super competitive division. To be honest, I did not expect these 2 teams at the beginning of the season to get to the Super Bowl, but they've both improved tremendously, and they are good teams. They've earned the right to be here.
Right.
And I think it's going to be a fight in the phone booth, man. I think it's going to be a slugfest.
I think so. I think it's going to be a defensive matchup. We're looking at 2 teams that essentially just gone from not having too much offense to having a lot of defense and really kind of putting it all together. The great Adam Bird once said, defense wins championships. Unfortunately, Adam's not in any of them this year, but we're looking forward to watching 2 teams play a dramatic game of defense, hoping to see something greater than an over-under of maybe 12 to 20 points. But I don't know that these 2 teams have the capacity to kind of put 20, 30 points on the board, but it would be great if they do. But I'm looking for a defensive slugfest.
I am too, but in the words of the great coach Tim Cagney, if you've got 16 plays to score from the 6, you got to punch it in. You know what I'm saying?
You got to punch it in.
There's going to need to be some scoring, but I do expect it, to your point, to be low scoring.
Yeah, so I'm excited. So Guy Tolliver and Buddy Neighbors are coming up on the next play. We got some pretty cool coaches on the sidelines. A Guy and his father coached together. So Guy Tolliver Sr. and Guy Tolliver Jr. So it's 3 generations coaching on one team, while the Sun Devils have a former Cowboy coaching on their team, running their offense, right? What do we got? Rico Gathers?
Rico Gathers, that's
Rico
right.
played some tight end and played some basketball at Baylor, so known for those attributes. So they have kids on the team. Buddy's been around for ages, right? Buddy's been around quite some time. There's something about our coaches here. We have dads. We have coaches from all levels, right? We have dads who have played college ball, pro ball, semi-pro ball, high school ball. And we have dads that just love the game itself and just learn the game for what it is and just come out and teach their kids and coach football. So it's really cool about our league.
Yeah, it is. If people ask me, hey, what makes the FFL such a great league, I would say it's the coaches. And it's the guys that are willing and dedicated to go out there and work with these kids, teach them the love of the game, teach them the fundamentals of the game. It's our coaches that really encompass the league and make us it's a differentiator for us compared to some of these other youth leagues.
Yeah, and we have a tremendous cheer league as well, right? We often joke that we're a cheer team. We're a cheer league that offers football.
That's right.
We have so many fine women out who devote their time to coach these young ladies. And our cheer team, I think Coach Emily, who's our cheer coordinator, right, who our cheer director, do we know how many cheer teams we have this year? it's well over 25 to 30
I
teams.
don't
Is
know
that
off the top of
ballpark?
my head, but yeah, I would say probably 30.
Our flag division offers cheer teams on them as well.
For 5 and 6U, yes.
5 and 6U, it's amazing to see. We have cheer all the way as young as 5 and 6U through the 11, 12-year age group. So it's awesome to see.
Yeah,
So,
I want to say real quick.
Yeah, please.
I totally agree with you. These cheer coaches and these cheerleaders put in just as much time as the football
Absolutely.
players.
Absolutely.
Just as much. And they get to go out there and showcase it at halftime. We have a phenomenal cheer organization within the Frisco Football League.
yeah, it separates us from everybody else, what we do on that side of the ball. So we got what's next on the docket here. We have the 9U division. After that, we have the 10U division. And then after that, we have the 11, 12U division to round out the night. What are we looking at in the 10U division upcoming after this game?
Yeah, so 10U, we've got the undefeated Cowboys versus the 9-1 Raiders. Raiders are coached by Tyson Thielen. Cowboys are coached by Duke Strain. It should be an outstanding game. I'm really looking forward to that 10U game. Those two teams, the Raiders and the Cowboys, they stood out this year, right? They obviously had the good records, but they both play a very physical brand of football.
And what are you thinking about the 11-12s today?
11-12.
That's our last division of the night, 6:45 game.
Yes.
Typically, that's the barn burner of a game. But what are we thinking about those two teams?
Yeah, so that is the Buckeyes versus the Saints. Buckeyes are coached by Jose Malpica, and the Saints are coached by Adrian Carter. You know, those two teams, outstanding teams. They've been together since 5U, both of those teams, and they both earn the right to have a chance to battle it out in the Super Bowl. I also expect that game to be super competitive. I really expect all our last 3 games to close out this 2023 season to be really, really good youth football games.
Awesome. It's going to be under the lights potentially, too, especially with the last 2 games. So that'll bring a festive atmosphere. We got a beautiful day out here. The sun is out. We're watching a little college on the big screen there. So we're watching Georgia play Tennessee a little bit.
That's awesome.
So that's an awesome thing to see. Game On's doing a fantastic job of promoting and doing what we're doing here with the live stream.
Yeah, let me say something real quick here, Tony. If you are part of a youth football organization and you're looking to take your league to the next level, I cannot recommend Game On anymore. They are outstanding to work with. Outstanding to work with. They're on top of things. I mean, heck, we're out here in the stands with an incredible setup. Again, Game On Sports, it's awesome if you really want to take your youth organization to the next level.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, what they do with Huddle, how fast they provide the games. As soon as the games are over, we're talking that night. Games are delivered to our Huddle accounts. Every coach has access to every other coach's game film. It's phenomenal. It's the best partnership we've had to date.
For sure. Highly recommend.
You're a board member.
Yes.
So
yes.
tell us about your responsibility of being a board member and what you do for the league and what your capacity is and what you see the league in the next couple of years.
Yeah, sure. Happy to do that, Tony. That's a great question, man. You've got some really, really just fantastic questions. Yeah, so I am the vice president of football, and really what that means is I run point on anything football related.
Oh.
And that includes our flag divisions, as well as our rookie tackle, and then our 11v11 traditional tackle. I do want to plug this. If you do live in the Frisco area and you've got a young son, that's a daughter too, because we offer cheer.
And co-ed football.
Yeah,
co-ed
we
flag,
do.
Co-ed tackle.
If you got a 5U or a 6U kid and they're looking to start the football journey, I highly recommend our league. Our flag divisions are really well run. They're run by one of the best coaches that I just referenced, Tim
absolutely.
Cagney. I mean, he is so in tune with that flag league. It's incredible.
It's so hands-on.
It's so hands-on. It's remarkable what he's been able to do with that flag.
I would agree. He's taken it to another level. Our flag division, it would not be what it is today if it wasn't for said Tim Cagney.
His fingerprints are all over that thing.
All over that thing.
Yes, very much so. Very much so.
Speaking of all over that thing, Adam Bird is a longtime board member. And, what do we think about Adam Bird and some of the board members that we have today? We have Adam, we have Mark Younger, we have Aaron Hudson. Who else do we have on the board that we could say that has really contributed this year to Jeff Howell. I mean, I can't just stop naming. There's a guy, Tony Ortiz, does a few things on the field.
Yeah, Chris McCoy.
I mean, different guys have been here 10-plus years.
Yep, and our president, Erin Hudson.
Erin Hudson, fantastic. She does a great job.
She's been president of our league, I think, this is her 4th year.
That's about right. How long has she been with the league? A lot longer, right?
Yeah, she's been with the league a lot longer. But, yeah, the board, we try to get people that are dedicated.
Yep.
Because it is a thankless job that you spend hours and hours trying to put together a league for these boys and put together a cheer division for these girls. But just, you named outstanding board members. Chris McCoy, I don't know if you mentioned him.
I did.
Tyson Thielen.
Jeff Howell, the behind-the-scenes scheduling, the scoring, the playoff brackets. There's a lot more work than goes to just setting up the field. Cassie, with all of our social media and our branding. Our registration, things that we've done. I mean, some of these folks that we just mentioned have really taken the game to another level to make it as streamless, as convenient to register.
Yep.
Our registration is now online.
Yep.
It's early in March, right? We have a combine. Walk us through that process.
That's a good segue, and then we can close it out and throw it to the real guys. We start our registration process in March.
Right.
And what happens is once you register, we hold a combine where the kids skill out. And what they do is they do a shuttle run and a 30-yard dash and a standing broad jump. They get height and weight. We try to treat it like an NFL combine. Usually that's over 2 weekends. And then once that's complete, in the summer, we hold our drafts where we pull all our coaches in and these kids are drafted. Now, if you're on an existing team, you have the right to stay with that team if you so choose. And typically most of these kids, they end up doing that, right? They get on a team. Typically they have a good experience and then they stick with that team for the football season.
Absolutely. I mean, as a single sign-on, we're probably the largest single sign-on in the country when it comes to just a one spot to register and set up. As a rec league, we have to remind people all the time, we are a rec league.
100%.
That we're looking at over 1,800 kids on average every year signing up through flag, cheer, and tackle.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So it's awesome to see. So really appreciate everyone coming out, watching the games today. We're down to the last couple minutes that Eric and I will be on, but we'll come back for our pregame on the next go-around. But we're going to get ready for the Sun Devils and the Ravens in the next 4 minutes.
Come strike up some fun. At Strikes, our premier entertainment attractions offer endless fun for everyone. Let the good times roll with bowling, axe throwing, arcade games, and more. While you play, enjoy delicious eats with lane-side service so you don't miss the fun. Looking to host an event? Our Rose Room is the perfect place for any party. Plan your party or book online today at strikes.com.
This game is brought to you by Blingle Lighting, Frisco's premier outdoor lighting company. Visit blingle.com/Frisco-Texas or call 972-433-6126 for a free consultation today.
Since 1947, Kilwin's chocolates, ice cream, and confections all served with exceptional service. Our core values are clear. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, always give it your best, and most importantly, have fun. Kilwin's is where people come to celebrate, enjoy a vacation from the ordinary, and share life's sweet moments in a nostalgic American atmosphere. Visit us at Kilwin's Plano in the Shops of Legacy, located next door to True Lux Plano. Kilwin's, a proud sponsor of the FFL.
At Children's Hunger Fund, there is a new way to deliver hope. With Virtual Food Pack, you can help a child in need from your screen. Click to begin packing. Choose the region you want to support. Read the stories of children you will impact across the U.S. or around the world. Next, select the number of food packs you would like to provide. Now it's off to the distribution center to prepare the food packs. Your filled food packs will be delivered to a local church where pastors and church volunteers will take them directly to a home of a child in need. You can deliver hope right now with Virtual Food Pack.
Since 1947, Kilwin's chocolates, ice cream, and confections all served with exceptional service. Our core values are clear. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, always give it your best, and most importantly, have fun. Kilwins is where people come to celebrate, enjoy a vacation from the ordinary, and share life's sweet moments in a nostalgic American atmosphere. Visit us at Kilwins Plano in the Shops of Legacy, located next door to True Lux Plano. Kilwins, a proud sponsor of the FFL.
Rock stars of tomorrow, more than just music lessons.
And following the end national anthem, we say good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Frisco Football League Super Bowl Saturday. You are looking live at David Kuykendall Stadium in Frisco, Texas, as Game On Sports Network brings you live exclusive coverage of the 2023 Frisco Football League Championships. And we welcome you to our third game of the day here at Kuykendall Stadium. This is the 9 and Under Tackle Championship game, a matchup between the 7-seed Sun Devils and the 4-seed Ravens. Alongside Jim Dixon and our sideline reporter Jeremy Beadling, this is Brian Shackelford welcoming you to today's 9 and Under Championship from Kuykendall Stadium. And Jim, the 9 and Under division, especially in the playoffs, has been a battle of the underdogs all the way through, as evidenced today by the fact that the 7-seed Sun Devils have punched their ticket into today's championship game. They upset the number 2 seed Raiders, and then upset the number 3 seed Bears to earn their way into today's championship game, as the Ravens come in as the number 4 seed. They beat the Jaguars and then upset the number 1 and undefeated Cowboys to play in this contest here today at Kuykendall Stadium. And both the Ravens and Sun Devils will be battling in the trenches, as they have some big bodies up front on the offensive and defensive lines.
Well, and Brian, it doesn't matter how you got here. You got here, and the fact of the matter is, you might learn late. You might find a wrinkle that benefits you. You might find something. You might find that kid on the bench that all of a sudden is a player, and that one thing may be enough of a catalyst to push you on. And as you can see with these two teams, the Sun Devils pretty low scale, and yet here they are in Championship Saturday.
Indeed they are, and Jim, we're probably in a treat for today, because if you are a fan of a defensive struggle and a defensive fight, this is going to be the game for you, because these teams played about 6 weeks ago in their first meeting, and it was a victory for the Sun Devils by a score of 6-0. So the coin toss having been conducted at midfield, the Sun Devils won the toss. They deferred to the second half, so no kickoffs here in the Frisco Football League, as the Ravens will begin play in the black uniforms. They have the ball first down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. As here now in the 9 and Under division, we move to full 11-on-11 football and use the entire football field here at Kuykendall Stadium. The opening play, that's a run to the near sideline, carried by number 25, Elliott Brown of the Ravens. He'll be stopped for no gain on the play, making the tackle for the Sun Devils. That's big number 78, Cade Bassam.
Yeah, Brown got loose on the edge and just kind of ran into a wall of Sun Devils and was forced out. But we'll see how that materializes. But these kids are playing very disciplined, very focused, staying at home, and doing what they're supposed to do.
No, and that has been the trademark here of the Sun Devils, and their 2 upset victories to reach this championship game is in both of those playoff games. they were the team that made the fewest mistakes, and they look to do that again today and try to hoist that championship trophy. The Ravens to throw on second down. The quarterback will pull it down and run. He'll take off. A shake and bake at the 35. He's got the first down still on his feet. And out to the 38-yard line for the Ravens. With the carry, that's the quarterback for the Ravens. I believe that was number 7, Jackson Tucker.
And you know, as you said, this defensive struggle in the Sun Devils, they basically kind of sold out on the line, had everybody up there, had one linebacker back, almost like a spy, and if the quarterback wouldn't have beat him, it would have been very detrimental to them. They'd have probably made 2 on the play.
Fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 Ravens at the 25. And a penalty flag comes in on the tailback dive, and quickly it's a holding call against the Ravens. So that will negate the 3-yard carry for number 25, Elliott Brown, as the Ravens will be pushed back 10 yards. They'll face 1st down and 20.
Yeah, again, they're seeing a little bit of advantage there. They're seeing some opportunity, but not able to really punch into that secondary.
No, they move the ball back. The officials do to the 28-yard line. 1st down and 20 yards to go for the Ravens. And with this type of defensive struggle, the Ravens trying to keep the big bodies of the defensive line for the Sun Devils out of the backfield. It may be a lot of holding penalties here on the line for both teams this afternoon in this 9 and under championship.
Yeah, you hope they could clean it up and not get tangled up with the officiating, but certainly you're going to see it. You're going to see a lot of physical play on that interior.
On 1st down and 20, they put the wide receiver in motion, Clayton, back to throw on 1st down and long, and he'll be sacked on the play. With the sack for the Sun Devils, that's number 40, McCoy Whitaker. And Whitaker makes the stop back at the 22-yard line. That's a loss of 8, or we'll call that a loss of 6 on the play, bringing up second down and very long.
Right, and it was just basically a corner blitz, and again, these Ravens, they got to pick these scheme packages up. And they're not going to see pressure from the same spot every time. They're going to move this around. They're going to put the linebacker core up. They're going to look at a 7-man front. They're going to see spies. They're going to see a bunch of different looks that these kids. I mean, they are a year into playing real football, and they have to pick up some really dramatic reads.
And Nash Clayton with the keeper. He'll go against the grain as they had motion from Aiden Genius in the opposite direction. And Nash Clayton, the quarterback, fills the empty hole. He'll gain, he gains 14 yards on the play, getting the ball out to the 36-yard line. But the Sun Devils still have the sticks on their side. The Ravens behind the sticks. Even after the big gain, they face 3rd down and 12.
Yeah, the penalties definitely put them in a deficit, and that's a deep hole to dig out of.
The clock moving toward the midway point of this opening quarter. No score here as we begin. This is the opening drive of the game in the 9 and under championship game here from Kuykendall Stadium. And folks, we want to thank you for joining us wherever you may be watching throughout the state, across the country, or around the world here on the World Wide Web on Game On Sports. 2 receivers in bunch formations to either side. Clayton looking to throw. He'll come to the near side. And that pass short, intended for number 12, Kingston Jefferson. But Jefferson well covered on the play by number 0, Fitzgerald Hatley. And it brings up 4th down and 12 for the Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, he had a lot of guys to beat, even if he received it. The best thing that would have happened is pull it down short and live with it on the turf and take the yards. But if he tried to move it upfield, he was going to take some hits.
And I believe here in the 9 and under division, this has to be a declared punt, as the Ravens will kick away here on 4th down and 12. No rush on the punt as the Sun Devils drop 2 players deep. The Gunners get to move ahead on the punt, and the Sun Devils will wisely let that go. It stalls out near the Sun Devil 41-yard line. So So 24 yards on the punt, no return for the Sun Devils, and they'll begin their first drive at their own 41-yard line as Buddy Neighbor brings his squad into this championship game at 500. He's 5-5 on the year, and the Ravens, coached by Guy Tolliver, they've had a 7-3 season arriving here in the championship game at Kuykendall Stadium.
Yeah, and again, talking about the stressing of fundamentals, I mean, bad punt, there was no return on. Those kids all backed away from it, and we've called high school games where it's rolling around and they can't seem to get away from it.
No, we've seen that at the high school varsity level, so smart play there by the Sun Devils as they open first down and 10 at their own 41. The tailback with the handoff, number 1, Ricardo Gathers, coming to the near side. And he'll take the handoff from the quarterback, Jackson Roberts, and lose a yard. Stopped on the play at the 40-yard line. The big hit for the Ravens coming from number 5, Guy Tolliver. So Guy Tolliver, the younger, makes the stop for a loss of 1, 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, and you gotta see how the Sun Devils are going to come out here and mix it up again. Both these teams playing great defense, and the Ravens really selling out on the line, trying to get that punch and find that extra body into the backfield to shut things down.
And that's actually number 0, Fitzgerald Hatley, at quarterback for the Sun Devils. He'll lose another yard on 2nd down, so defense playing a big part here for both teams early in this game, as both teams on their opening drive have gone backward rather than forward here in the first quarter.
Yeah, just a lot to overcome with these packages they're putting in, and what each defense is showing. Just a lot of pressure.
3rd down and 12 now, Sun Devils. They have the ball at their own 39-yard line. The clock edging toward 2 minutes to play in the opening quarter here at Kuykendall Stadium. Hatley with the toss back to number 1, Ricardo Gathers. He'll try to turn the corner on the far side on the sweep. And the cornerback for the Ravens makes the play. It'll be a short gain for the Sun Devils. With that stop, it's number 28, Nash Clayton, the tackle for the Ravens. 4th down coming up.
And really, I mean, I think this matchup comes down to who plays fundamentals better, who tackles, who takes those opportunities, and just does what you're supposed to do with them. Nothing flashy to see out here, just a little, hard-nosed smash mouth.
And the punt by the Sun Devils. It will go over the head and take a Sun Devil roll inside the Raven 30-yard line and be downed at the Ravens 28.
Yeah, and let's see what they come out with, and they're definitely buried deep.
A 29-yard punt for the Sun Devils, no return. It's 1st and 10 Ravens. They start at their own 28, Jim.
Yeah, I mean, buried deep, but that's a lot of field to come up with on the touchdown.
And now the Ravens go back to work with their second offensive possession, down to 82 ticks remaining in our opening period. As we are in the middle game of the day, this is the 3rd game of 5 being held here today at Kuykendall Stadium, as Frisco Football League will crown their 5 tackle champions here this afternoon and evening, as we've already crowned the 7U and 8U champions, and now the 9U championship trophy here at stake in this game, a scoreless tie as the Ravens begin 1st and 10.
Yeah, I don't see the scoreless tie holding up, but I don't think we're in for a 21-point adventure by any stretch of the imagination.
Nash Clayton handing off on the jet sweep, coming to the near side. That's number 10, Aiden Genius. Genius breaking down the sideline, midfield, and more, and shoved down. A desperation play there by Fitzgerald Hatley, and it pays off as it's huge yardage for number 10, Aiden Genius. And Genius, with a gain of 33 yards on the play, he's got 1st and 10 Ravens at the Sun Devil 39-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, just pick it up on the sweep, come wide, start picking out your spot and figuring out when you're going to hightail it.
33 yards on the play as Genius there in one play covers a full third of the football field. And now the clock set with 1 minute, 11 seconds to play as Genius tackled out of bounds. It's 1st and 10 for the Ravens. They'll put 2 receivers to either side, a wing back on the bottom of the formation here as you watch the field set east to west. That is right to left as you watch here on your screen this afternoon. Clayton will fake the handoff. He'll keep himself coming near side. The defensive end with no contain. And a first down and more as Clayton will stay in bounds. And he'll get all the way down to the Sun Devil 25-yard line. A big gainer there for the Ravens of 14.
Yeah, and I think the Ravens have started to find something that they like. They're going to work that edge, try and sucker that end in, close him off, work that edge, and know that they've got another 15, 20 yards after that.
And we'll take a look here. A nice fake by Clayton on the jet sweep and gets around number 7, Ryan Alexander, who moved in trying to chase on Aiden Genius, and instead it allowed Clayton to get outside him for a 14-yard gain and a first down. And now another official's timeout as play is stopped with 38 seconds. And we have a Sun Devil player down on the field. This is an official's timeout for injury.
Yeah, I think he was a little late on that. I think a lot of times at this age level, you have to, these kids need to know, okay, I'm hurt, I'm not hurt. They're little dudes. They're still kind of feeling things out with what's going on with their body, and they think, okay, I think I'm hurt. I might be hurt. I don't know if I'm hurt. And a lot of that's the toughest thing is to tell a kid, okay, if you feel like you're not 100%, you need to identify that, and here's the course of action.
Indeed, and that was number 0, Fitzgerald Hatley, the Sun Devils quarterback and free safety, shaking up on the play. He'll make it to the sideline under his own power. And, Jim, we hope that's not too serious, and we see Hatley return to action quickly.
Yeah, I mean, he creates a dramatic hole if he's not out there.
And we'll see if the Ravens could take advantage, because he'll have to come out for at least one play, as the Ravens have first down and 10 at the Sun Devil 25. The Ravens on their second drive of the game here late in the first quarter, and a scoreless tie in the 9 and under championship game. And I'm just a fan of this already, because this makes it a lot simpler, Jim. We're playing UIL rules now that we've moved to full 11 on 11 football, and I don't have to subtract 15 yards from where the ball is to get the right yard.
Yeah,
line.
That's true.
First and 10 Ravens. They'll continue at the 25-yard line. Clock moves under 30 ticks remaining in the opening quarter. A wingback Genus to the left of the quarterback Clayton. And they have a penalty. They're going to call encroachment with contact against the Sun Devils. And the Sun Devils gift the Ravens a free 5 yards to the Sun Devil 20-yard line.
Yeah, and again, part of the process with these young men is okay, we're playing a 4-3, and we're gonna collapse our linebackers up. We're gonna make them think their way around us, and now they're kind of this series kind of feeling themselves on their heels and need to make those adjustments kind of on the fly.
Clayton to throw on first down, wide open behind the defense, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. The touchdown catch by number 12, Kingston Jefferson, as he gets behind the cornerback on the near side, Graham Hatley, and it's the opening 6 points to the Ravens.
Yeah, it looks like if these two teams play out the way they have without adjustments, it's going to be a long day for the Sun Devils. But I have a sneaking suspicion they'll make adjustments.
And the Ravens able to take advantage of the fact that one of the star players for the Sun Devils, Fitzgerald Hatley, off the field due to injury, so they're able to capitalize and put 6 points on the board here in the waning seconds of the first quarter. Now the Ravens will attempt the conversion from the 3-yard line. They can run for 1 or pass for 2 here in the Frisco Football League. And it looks like they'll set up with a spread formation, 2 receivers to either side. Clayton will put Genius in motion. The low snap, Clayton will pick it up. He's looking for Genius. He's open on the far sideline, and the extra point is good. That'll be a 2-point conversion on the pass play for the Ravens. So, folks, your new score with 16 seconds remaining in our first quarter here in the 9 and under championship game at Kuykendall Stadium. It's Ravens 8, Sun Devils nothing. And, Jim, that fell apart quickly for the Sun Devils once Fitzgerald Hatley went down to injury.
Well, not just that. I think there's an underlying adjustment coming for the coming on behalf of the Sun Devils, and they need to look at their line and go, okay, you need to stay more focused, be more disciplined, stay in your lanes, know where you're going, know how we're pursuing the ball, rather than everybody trying to be a hero and make the stop. It's got to be a unit defense swarm rather than one or two guys making plays.
Indeed, we'll see if they can stay at home once they're back on the offensive side or defensive side of the football. This time they have a chance to answer from the offensive side on 1st and 10. But instead it's a loss of 5 on the play as Ricardo Gathers all by himself in the backfield is tackled for a loss. With that stop, number 17, Knox McCutcheon.
Yeah, and the Ravens they just stretched the field on him, made him approach the line and have to come out, and just kept pursuing the ball, and great defense. And they need to the Sun Devils need to get the Raven defense kind of off on one foot, get them off on a little unbalanced. Try to figure out how to best approach and get some footing and kind of move the game around a little bit, go from pass to run.
And folks, that was the final play of our opening quarter here from Kuykendall Stadium in the 9 and Under championship game, as we have Frisco football Saturday live for you here on Game On Sports. And folks, your score after 8 minutes of play in the 9 and Under championship, it's Ravens 8, Sun Devils nothing. Come back here for the second quarter, folks. You're watching Frisco Football League Super Bowl Saturday live on Game On Sports.
Come strike up some fun. At Strikes, our premier entertainment attractions offer endless fun for everyone. Let the good times roll with bowling, axe throwing, arcade games, and more. While you play, enjoy delicious eats with laneside service so you don't miss the fun. Looking to host an event? Our Rose Room is the perfect place for any party. Plan your party or book online today at strikes.com.
This game is brought to you by Blingle Lighting, Frisco's premier outdoor lighting company. Visit blingle.com/Frisco-Texas or call 972-433-6126 for a free consultation today.
Since 1947, Kilwin's chocolates, ice cream, and confections all served with exceptional service. Our core values are clear. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, always give it your best, and most importantly, have fun. Kilwin's is where people come to celebrate, enjoy a vacation from the ordinary, and share life's sweet moments in a nostalgic American atmosphere. Visit us at Kilwin's Plano in the Shops of Legacy, located next door to True Lux Plano. Kilwin's, a proud sponsor of the FFL.
And folks, we welcome you back here to Kuykendall Stadium for Frisco Football League Championship Saturday. Brian Shackelford here with you along with Jim Dixon. And Jim, the opening play here as we watch the replay of the second quarter, a carry by Ricardo Gathers as he'll gain 4 yards on the play. But it's 3rd down and 7 now here for the Sun Devils in the early stages of quarter number 2.
Yeah, and you're seeing kind of a little bit of success. Obviously, they need to do it more consistently, but they need to find approaches that are going to work with this Raven defense.
2nd down, 7 now as Gerald Hatley back in the game. He'll hand off to Ricardo Gathers. Gathers tries the outside. And the one thing I've noticed here, Jim, in the early going with Buddy Neighbors' squad is the Sun Devils have tried all of their runs outside the tackles, either stretch plays or sweeps, and it's been very good coverage stringing out the play to the sideline by the Ravens. And on this play, they lose a yard. It's now 4th down and 8, Sun Devils.
Yeah, and really you just need discipline out of three players, and that's on the inside. And your pursuits all coming from your corners and your linebackers, and then all of a sudden you've committed to that one side, and you got 4 guys in pursuit that you have to beat.
And you saw it right there on the replay as there was 1 Sun Devil on the play and 3 Ravens on the tackle led by number 17, Knox McCutcheon. Now the punt on 4th down. They'll stop the clock here with 6:09 remaining in the half as they rule the punt is downed at the Sun Devil 43-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like to me that one of the Raven players had it kind of come off a leg, but I'm up here and you're up here.
Well, it touched the Ravens there and then bounced down, and then the Sun Devils downed it. So I'm assuming here in the 9 and Under league, there's not going to be a live punt per se as far as a fumble there. So rather than, having a live duel for the football where these kids could bang heads into each other scrambling for the football, they're just going to say Raven football there where it hit the Ravens and stopped. So Ravens take control at the 43-yard line. They have an 8-0 lead. And following the 18-yard punt by the Sun Devils, the Ravens look to add to this 8-0 lead here with just over 6 minutes remaining before halftime. So as Nash Clayton and company come to the line of scrimmage, 1st and 10 Ravens, we'll see that the Sun Devils are stacking, looks like they're stacking 5 or 6 men right on the line of scrimmage, Jim, to try to stop the interior run.
Yeah, and it'll work fine. You just need to stay disciplined.
And now Nash Clayton going to the far side. He'll get just inside the 40. Still on his feet at the 38-yard line. And he'll get down to the 37-yard line with the stop for the Sun Devils. That's number 40, McCoy Whitaker. A gain on the play for Clayton. He'll gain, we'll call it 6 on the play, setting up 2nd down and 4 as we watch the replay.
Yeah, and you're seeing the ends coming in, taking on a double, unable to come off the block, and just really opening up that outside where the linebackers and corners are scraping along the whole time. They're at that point having to play catch up. So these ends have to hold contain. They need to get off blocks and get their hands free where these guys on the outside can come in and do the work.
And now 2nd down, 4 yards to go for the Ravens. They have the ball at the Sun Devil 37-yard line. Clock rolling with 5 minutes to play in the half. Clayton looks to throw. He'll be forced out of the pocket. Now he'll pull it down and run late. And taking him down close to the 1st down marker, I believe that's number 0, Fitzgerald Hatley with the stop. And this will come down to the official. And where he decides the football is obviously we won't see a measurement.
No.
Clayton here on the replay.
We now?
He'll pull that down, and it is indeed Fitzgerald Hatley with the tackle. As he'll pull Clayton down by the jersey. And the officials do signal 1st down Ravens. They'll continue the drive at the Sun Devil 33-yard line.
Yeah, and again, the discipline's playing charge on this on the Sun Devils, and they're just kind of they're kind of putting themselves in a situation where the plan and scheme isn't able to carry out simply because you're asking your linebackers to do too much.
And now, once again, Nash Clayton with the keeper. He'll sneak outside left tackle for a couple of yards, brought down shy of the 30-yard line. I believe number 7, Ryan Alexander, with the stop for the Sun Devils. And they'll mark him at the 31. Well, just inside the 31-yard line. We'll say 2.5 on the play for the Ravens.
Right, and the Ravens kind of they have command of an axiom in football, which is, you're going to get beat, you're going to play a neutral, or you're going to win. And if you do 2 of those things, you're going to win. And the Ravens, I mean, honestly, some of these blocks are I'm just in the way.
No, indeed. And sometimes that's all you need to do to allow the running back or the quarterback to sail by. Clayton looking to throw. He's going to go deep on the far side, complete. The pass on the underneath, complete. Making the catch, number 22, Wesley Randolph. And beautiful execution there on the skinny post as Randolph will move the sticks. They have 1st down and 10 now at the 17-yard line. That's a pass play of 15 yards.
Yeah, and the Ravens are up and have momentum right now simply because they're able to execute and play. They're executing what they want to do as they want to do it, and the Sun Devils are in the unfortunate situation where they're having to kind of adjust to things rather than dictating what they're doing on the offensive or defensive fronts.
Yeah, the tackle on the last play for the Sun Devils, number 21, Josiah Gladney. As it's a fresh set of downs for the Ravens, they'll continue this drive at the Sun Devil 18. The shotgun snap back to Nash Clayton. He's going on the skinny post deep down the middle on the far side, or near side rather. But it looked like Aiden Genius stopped on the route, Jim. Otherwise, he might have had a shot for the catch at the 3-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's more of a situation where he thought it was a hook and rather than a flag or post and just unfortunately mistimed it, because I think that would have been an easy conversion for the Ravens.
And the incomplete pass brings up 2nd and 10 for the Ravens. The clock stops on the incompletion with 2:32 to play before halftime. 2nd down and 10, Ravens at the Sun Devil 18. Clayton will put Genius in motion. He'll hand to him on the jet sweep. Aiden Genius coming to the near side, turning the corner. One man to beat at the 5-yard line, and he'll run right past Fitzgerald Hatley into the end zone. Touchdown, Ravens. The 2nd touchdown of the game for that young man, number 10, Aiden Genius.
Yeah, and Whitaker did exactly right on that.
Oh, wait, hold on,
yeah,
Jim.
We've
got a penalty flag there. Let's check that penalty flag with today's official at the 10-yard line. Sorry about that.
But Whitaker came in, held contained, dictated, and was just a step slow on making the stop.
And it looks like a holding or an illegal block in the back penalty against the Ravens. So take the touchdown run for Genius off the board. And it is illegal block in the back against the Ravens. Probably an unnecessary block as Genius, had wide open field and just strolled right past Fitzgerald Hatley for the score. And you hate to see that when it's an unnecessary penalty away from the play that costs you a touchdown.
Yeah, it pulls points off the board. Obviously, that's not how you get it done. But I think these guys are they're playing and they're a little overzealous because they see their guy heading to pay dirt.
It's now 2nd down and 12 at the 20-yard line. Clayton with the keeper, big hole over left tackle. And Noah Clayton is going to race to the pylon. He'll get there first. Touchdown, Ravens, as the illegal block in the back penalty only cost the Ravens 1 play. And once again, they put 6 more on the board in this first half.
Yeah, great vision to clear, as you can see. Okay, he's out on the edge, just sucking in through that gap where the tackle didn't close up, and just a sprint for the pylon, and just not very much pursuit at all from the Sun Devils, and they need to kind of clean that up.
Well, give credit to the offensive line of the Ravens there as the left guard and the left tackle opened up a huge hole for Noah Clayton, and he took off through that hole untouched for a 20-yard touchdown run.
Yeah, I mean, a great play, and the Sun Devils at this point need to start kind of reassessing what they're doing and look at it from the standpoint of how do we get back in this thing.
So now 14-0 Ravens with the extra point pending. And this extra point attempt coming from the 3-yard line. But first we have a timeout as Coach Guy Tolliver did not like what he saw on the lineup there by the Ravens. He'll call his first timeout before the point after.
Yeah, and again, they're trying to stop momentum. They're trying to kind of break serve, so to speak. But they, the Sun Devils need to kind of get everything back in their corner, get momentum on their side, and really only played even in the first series.
Indeed, and now each team with only 2 timeouts remaining, but we only have 1:45 remaining in the first half, so judicious use of the timeouts by both teams. But the Ravens here looking to do something they have not done against the Sun Devils so far this season, and that's go up now with a 2-score advantage, as the previous game between these two teams was a 6-0 defensive onslaught as the Ravens pulled out, the Ravens pulled out the narrow victory in their regular season matchup.
Yeah, I don't think that's in the cards for today to have a defensive struggle, and if that's what the Sun Devils were counting on, I think they need to reassess. But they certainly have the ability to right the ship. I mean, this thing's not lost by any stretch of the imagination.
And now following the timeout by the Ravens, they'll attempt the extra point from the 3-yard line. As Nash Clayton in shotgun formation. Jenius in motion. And Noah Clayton's going to keep that himself. And that was a great play design there, as putting Aiden Genius in motion just paved the way for Noah Clayton to stroll right in there for the point after.
Yeah, and they had that corner coming up on the edge, and he's just isolated on an island. You'll see here, he's got to cover a pass and got to cover a run.
And following the extra point here by the Ravens, your score with 1:45 remaining in our first half of the 9 and Under championship game here from Kuykendall Stadium. It's now Ravens 15, Sun Devils 0. And Buddy Neighbors' squad here is going to have to turn things around, Jim. But they've got plenty of time. They've got 1:45, and they have 2 timeouts remaining. So Coach Neighbors' squad has the opportunity here, starting at the 25-yard line, to hopefully put some points on the board before we go to halftime.
Yeah, and they need to kind of gather themselves, find little small spurts of success to build from. And you don't know where that's going to come from or what it's going to look like when it happens, but you got to go out and play.
And now the Sun Devils begin this drive, 1st down and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Once again, no kickoffs here in the Frisco Football League. As the 9U division starts every drive following a score from the 25-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Sun Devils. Fitzgerald Hatley, he's going to keep roaming to the far side. And the coverage there by the Ravens just overwhelming. And that's the difference here in these big runs, is that the Ravens have been able to open up massive holes, and there just aren't enough Sun Devils there to make the tackle, where on the opposite side of the ball, as you'll see here in the replay, there are 4 Ravens players ready to take Fitzgerald Hatley down to the turf after a short gain.
Yeah, and that comes down to the ability and the discipline of that interior line to basically at that point you have 3 guys tying up 5, and then you have these linebackers that can stretch the field out on you, and these corners can close out, and it's tough to overcome.
Out of the wishbone, the handoff to the fullback on 2nd down and 8. And a nice gain there for the Sun Devil fullback. He'll gain 6 on the play out to the 34-yard line. And quickly, Coach Neighbor will stop the clock with 54 seconds remaining in the half. He'll use his 2nd timeout. Nice gain there by number 40. Number 40, that's McCoy Whitaker, as he'll make it 3rd down and 2 for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and I mean, back to what you were saying about the run scheme of the Sun Devils kind of taking to that edge. That was the first time, if I'm not mistaken, that they've, pretty much gone up the gut, and, nice little charge. I mean, maybe they have to kind of reassess things.
No, and I think that's something that Coach Neighbor may look at in the second half, because he's gaining some decent yardage up the middle and running those quick-hitting dives and cut plays. And if he can throw in a counter play, it may be amazing. But running there in between the tackles, it just neutralizes all the lateral speed that obviously the cornerbacks and the outside linebackers have for the Ravens.
Yeah, and then then you're kind of forcing these guys to play inside, and then then it opens up for what you were trying to do previously, which is work the outside edge.
And now we're back to play here following the 2nd timeout by the Sun Devils. They have 1 remaining and now face 3rd down, 2 yards to go with the ball at their own 33-yard line. Hatley will take the snap, handoff once again to the fullback, number 40, McCoy Whitaker. And Whitaker being marked short of the 1st down. They're only giving him 1 yard on the play, Jim, and the clock now running with 40 ticks to play before halftime. It's 4th down and 1.
Yeah, I think you would opt for tempo at this point and try to get them off center and just dive and dive and dive.
And now here we go, a critical play for both teams, 4th and 1. As Hatley, the quarterback, will try to move the scrum forward. I don't think he's going to get there, Jim.
No.
And he's marked short by the officials. No gain on the play. And a disastrous turn of events here for the Sun Devils. As the worst case scenario has happened, the Ravens will get the ball back with 17 seconds to play before halftime, and they also still have 2 timeouts remaining.
Yeah, that's a tough one to overcome when your first step's backwards.
15-0 the advantage for the Ravens, as they'll take over on downs just inside the Sun Devil 35-yard line. And if Coach Guy Tolliver has some plays in the back of the playbook where he can cover 34 yards in 2 plays, now's the time to use them, Jim.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you have it, it's nice if you have it.
It's nice if you have it. And we've seen a couple of plays here from the back of the playbook, some dipsy-doodle work there. I mean, the Colts pulled that off with a little bit of a double reverse pass toward the end of the previous game. And now the Ravens have an opportunity to blow this game wide open right before halftime. Stoppage of time on the field. And it's a timeout taken by the Ravens. Coach Tolliver will use his 2nd timeout here. We still have 17 ticks remaining before halftime.
Yeah, I mean, really kind kind of more plays into the hand of the Sun Devils. It gives them an opportunity to kind of gather themselves and try to find some success on the defensive side. Albeit they didn't hit the end zone on that last series, but certainly saw a little bit better outcome than they had previously.
And the timeout on the field coming with 17 seconds remaining in the half. Each team now with only, the Sun Devils, I believe, they didn't. They still have one timeout remaining, so each team with one timeout. And the purple and black on the attack here with 17 ticks remaining in the half. And if they're able to score here and establish a huge lead, they've got an opportunity to put this into a running clock beginning early in the third quarter.
Yeah, again, another way to kind of force the issue, but yeah, you want to get up on them early, and this isn't even what we're kind of expecting or surmise from the opening kick.
And now the Ravens have the ball 1st and 10 at the Sun Devil 34-yard line. Noah Clayton looking to throw. He'll take off on the quarterback draw. And he won't get very far. He'll be stopped at the 33-yard line. And quickly, Coach Guy Tolliver will spend his last time out with only 10 seconds to play in the half. As we see here on the replay, the tackle for number 14, Colton Neighbor. And nice work there by the interior defensive line to stay at home for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and you saw that. They didn't bite on it. They let that thing open up and shut them down with a short gain.
And now the Ravens out of timeouts. And let's try to get into the mind here of Guy Tolliver here for just a second. You're leading by 15. You have 10 seconds remaining in the half. You're facing 3rd down and 8. Now, the conservative side of me says, well, let's just take a knee and take a 2-touchdown game to the halftime break. But then, if you feel like gambling a little bit and you've got, like we talked about just a moment ago, if you've got that gadget play in the back of the playbook, this would be the perfect time to run it.
I don't even think it takes that. I think just good play selection and execution, and that may set the table enough for the Ravens to at least get that one off.
And now they come to the line of scrimmage, 2nd down, 8 yards to go at the Sun Devil 33-yard line, with only 10 seconds remaining in our first half. A wing back and 2 receivers to the near side of the formation as Clayton is back to throw. He'll look to his right, looking for Genus, and Genus with the catch, but he'll be tackled at the 16-yard line. The officials will stop the clock briefly to move the chains with only 3 seconds to play in the half. They'll set the clock, and now they'll wind it, and the Ravens unable to get the play off as the horn sounds, bringing us to halftime. Folks, we've reached the end of the first half of play here at Kuykendall Stadium as we continue in Frisco Football League Super Bowl Sunday live here on Game On Sports. And your score as we go to the halftime break in the 9 and Under championship game. It's Ravens 15, Sun Devils 0. And while we have a moment, let's check in down on the sideline with Jeremy Beadling.
All right, I'm here. Coach Tolliver coming over to me right now. Wasn't able to get the last pass off of the half, but Coach Tolliver for the Ravens, great first half. What are you telling your kids going into the second half?
Hey, it's 0-0 score. All right, that's a tough team over there. We just got to play with one another, and hopefully we have a good outcome.
And then, obviously, you've been with these kids throughout the whole year. What do you have to say about all these kids' growth on and off the field throughout this season? I mean, seeing them growing up before your eyes.
They've been working hard, playing together as a team, and we just want to keep it rolling.
And, what are you instilling in these kids? Obviously, coaching them the basics of football, but also teaching them how to be, leaders whenever they grow up. What does that mean to you as a coach, instilling that in these kids?
Hey, play together, stay together, work hard, be dedicated in everything that you do, and hopefully it's a good turnout for you.
Awesome. Hey, well, congrats on the first half and good luck in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Jeremy, and we appreciate Coach Guy Tolliver's time here. And Jim, quick wrap up here before we go to the halftime break here as the Sun Devil cheerleaders set to perform your impressions here on the first 16 minutes in this 9U championship.
Yeah, I mean the Ravens came out and they executed. They executed better than what the Sun Devils did. They have a game plan, and this thing's not out of reach for the Sun Devils, but they certainly need to act in an expedited fashion.
And folks, we're going to step aside as you'll get to see both cheerleading squads performing here at halftime. 15-0, the advantage for the Ravens here at the halftime break. Stay with us as Frisco Football League Super Bowl Saturday continues live here on Game On Sports.
with the Sun Devil head coach, and obviously long season culminating in a Super Bowl. What have you taught these kids, and how have you seen these kids grow up before your eyes?
You know what, at the beginning of the season, we just try to teach the boys to have fun, to try to teach them the game of football. We're a talented bunch. The thing that I think we tried to instill in them the most is to believe in themselves and believe in their abilities.
And obviously, the impact that you have on these kids is going to go far beyond the football field. How have you seen these kids grow up before your eyes and just off the field more, just grow up into leaders?
Yeah, it depends player to player. Every kid's got different attributes, different skill sets that they've developed through the season. Some of them are great football players and develop as leaders. Some of them are just learning the game and they develop as great football players. But all in all, very proud of the entire team.
Awesome. Well, thank you for everything you do, and congrats on the season so far. Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Thank you.
And thank you, Jeremy. We appreciate the time of Sun Devils head coach Buddy Neighbor. Both coaches taking a little bit of time with us here, Jim, during the halftime break. And as we're set to start period number 3 here in the 9 and under championship game, it's 15-0 Ravens, and it will actually be the Sun Devils. And my apologies, it will be the Sun Devils that will start 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, and we'll see what they got in the tank after halftime, and see if they were able to kind of restructure things and find some positive footing to build from.
And while we have a moment here, we want to thank the young ladies that performed for you here during halftime. The Cowboy cheerleaders performing today: Kylie Klein, Zoe Dewey. Sun Devils. We already did the Cowboys, so it's the Sun Devil cheerleaders led by Georgiana Allen, Eloise Banneker, Rachel Calvin, Sky Christotholos, Emery Doherty, Haley Duke, Madeline Elliott, Paige Eskilden, Sarah Hammond, Brooke Hayward, Aniston Klobuknik, Addison Bolden, Sydney Strong, Abigail Turner, and Samantha Weissman. And we'll introduce the Ravens cheerleaders for you after this first down play by the Sun Devils as they start 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Fitzgerald hit Hatley with the pass attempt, falling incomplete. Looking on the far side for number 18, Camden Villavaso. And while we have a moment here, we'll introduce those Ravens cheerleaders who just finished performing at halftime. Annalise Anderson, Lorelei Anderson, Allie Claire Dewar, Kami Dewar, Caroline Dewar, Everett Emerson, Hannah Ezo, Harper Fortenberry, Olivia Johnson, Parker Lynn, Kelsey May, Sophia Riordan, Claire Sherpy, Kaylee Wagoner, and Kendall Whistler. And thank you, ladies, for your halftime performance here as both the cheerleaders and the football players in action here on Super Bowl Saturday from Kuykendall Stadium. The swing pass by Hatley. He'll hit Ricardo Gathers in the flat, but Johnny on the spot there to make the tackle. That's the Ravens defense. I believe Nash Clayton with the tackle, and the Sun Devils lose 2 on the play.
Yeah, again, great discipline on the inside and tying up that offensive line, stretching the approach and just making those guys work east and west, or I guess north and south.
But, you say north and south, and you think up and down the football field.
Yeah.
So we're just going to use the cliches instead of try to fit the terminology to the field.
Yeah.
So Reek Gathers fumbles on the play, and the officials rule it a fumble. And the Ravens take over. Everything going the Ravens' way so far in this 9U championship game. And they take over following the fumble recovery, 1st and 10 at the Sun Devil 28-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, aside from the first series by both these teams, I mean, it's been all Ravens since then.
The Ravens with 15 unanswered points as they lead here 15-0 with 7:07 to play in the third quarter. And the opening drive of the third quarter just disastrous for the Sun Devils as they look to rebound and halt the assault of the Ravens offense.
Yeah, I mean, the Ravens just really very much in command of the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball and able to pretty much do what they want, just simply tying up guys and I don't know if they're overmatched on skill positions or not, but they're certainly not allowing the Sun Devils to do anything that they would like.
Nash Clayton now with the keeper on first down. He'll cut back inside as he looked to stretch that play to the outside, saw an open hole on the inside. And Ricardo Gathers will make the stop at the 23-yard line as we have an official's timeout following a gain of 5.
And I think
we'll check here.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get something straightened out. I don't think there's an injury. Well, no, there is an injury.
Yeah, coming to the sideline, Nash Clayton following the tackle. He was a little slow to get up, so he'll come to the sideline for one play. And that is a very important focus here of the Frisco Football League. Their number one emphasis, even before player development, is player safety. And they will, you can say they take it to the extreme, but in my opinion, Jim, there's really no such thing when you're talking about the minds and bodies here of young kids ages 7 to 12.
I don't think there's any extreme when it comes to safety with little guys.
Yeah, not at all. So Nash Clayton will come off for a play, and following the 4-yard gain, 2nd down and 6 for the Ravens. Clock moving now as we dip under 6.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. 15-0 still the advantage for the Ravens. With the carry, number 25, Elliott Brown. And Brown, with just a short gain of a yard or two, stepping up to make the big hit for the Sun Devils. That's the middle linebacker, Ricardo Gathers.
Well, and they kind of broke up off the snap. They had to dig it out of the turf and then get the handoff going. By that time, all that momentum was lost from the line, and then it kind of withered around where he had to kind of search around for an open field and ran probably 20 yards and got 3.
And it is a 3-yard gain that will set up 3rd down and 4 for the Ravens. This is a critical play here for the Sun Devils if they want to force a turnover on downs from the Ravens deep in their end of the field. So the ball resting at the 22-yard line of the Sun Devils, 3rd down and 4 Ravens. Motion by Genus, and he'll get the jet sweep handoff, cut it back inside, as it'll be forced back inside by Whitaker, but instead Genus will take it back outside, and he'll stroll into the end zone. Nobody in a white uniform can match the speed of number 10, Aiden Genus, and he takes that ball 22 yards to the house. Touchdown, Ravens.
Yeah, and I mean, he just opened it up. He really had one man or two men to beat just beyond the line of scrimmage. Everything else was a foot race, and he was winning.
Yeah, only one man able to even get a hand on him, and that was right at the line of scrimmage. And after that, Genus just put it into 5th gear and strolled into the end zone. He has scored all 3 touchdowns in this game for the Ravens, one receiving. And the other touchdown that he had was called back. So that's his 2nd touchdown of the game, as he had a receiving touchdown to open the game. The 2nd touchdown game, a rush for the quarterback, Nash Clayton.
Yeah, and I mean, the Ravens just really imposing their will at this point and really testing what the Sun Devils are having to do, although the Sun Devils have just been spotted 41 points.
And now the extra point attempt. Looking to throw, that's number 5, Guy Tolliver. He'll throw into the end zone, and that pass intended for Jackson Tucker falls incomplete. The extra point is no good. And ladies and gentlemen, your new score with 5:14 remaining in our third quarter here in the 9 and Under championship game from Kuykendall Stadium. It's Ravens 21, Sun Devils 0. And Jim, the Sun Devils desperately need to put together a solid drive and stem the tide of this Ravens onslaught with 5:14 remaining in quarter number 3.
Yeah, I mean, they need to start with the basics, which is basically getting something moving in a positive direction and being able to build from that, but unable to really get the thing going, where they can have some positive return.
And now the Sun Devils start this drive. Just over 5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. The throw by Fitzgerald Hatley. He'll go deep downfield. It's caught. Ricardo gathers in that catch at the 47-yard line. That's a pitch and catch they'll mark it at the 46, 21-yard gain, and a first down for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, and as you can see there on the replay, just a great play, and maybe that's what they need, that little positive edge, and there they go for a little 6-yard gainer.
And with the handoff, that's number 1, Ricardo Gathers. After the big catch, he'll take the handoff and get close to the midfield stripe. They'll mark him at the 50-yard line for a 4-yard gain. It brings up 2nd down and 6. And the Sun Devils, for the first time in this game, going up-tempo on the offense, and they've gained a little bit of momentum here as we approach the midway point of this third quarter.
Yeah, I mean, it comes down to it, and it's a game. These kids are still playing, but they certainly need to be successful to have fun.
Indeed they do, and the run blitz successful that time. As on the jet sweep handoff, that was Ricardo Gathers, but he ran right into the Raven defender. He got away from the first man, but as we see here on the replay, the tackle made by number 25, Elliott Brown, for a loss of 2. Actually, we'll call it a loss of 3, back near the Sun Devil 47-yard line. And it's now 3rd down and 8. Hatley looking to throw. He'll roll to his right, goes deep downfield. And almost brought in by number 18, Camden Villavaso. But Villavaso unable to find the handle on the football. And that pass falls incomplete. We'll take a look at the replay.
Just really kind of, the ground made the tackle.
And you see the heave there by Hatley. And well defended on the play, back in the game for the Ravens, making that pass breakup. That's number 28, Nash Clayton. And now with no other choice here, as we move under 3:40 or 3:44 remaining in the third quarter, the Ravens have to go for it on 4th and long. Hatley will throw deep again, Gathers behind the defense, and that's just simply knocked down by Nash Clayton. And the Ravens will take over 1st and 10 just inside Sun Devil territory.
Yeah, and I mean, the Sun Devils unable to convert on that, but Nash Clayton, just a great ball hawk, just knowing where everything was, and way to put himself in a position to make the stop.
No, and great situational awareness there for a 9-year-old, knowing that was 4th down, and rather than take the pick, which he could have just intercepted that had he chosen to, he just knocked it down, knowing that they would have the ball farther up the field.
Yeah, I mean, you and I've called games where they get so wound up with what's going on, they want the pick, and they do themselves a detriment to the tune of about 20 yards.
And now the Ravens take over with 3:38 remaining here in our third quarter. They enjoy a 21-0 lead, and they have the ball at the Ravens' 48-yard line. Or pardon me, at the Sun Devil 48-yard line. The snap to Nash Clayton. He'll hand off with the carry. That's Guy Tolliver. Tolliver with big yardage. And now the Ravens, as you mentioned earlier, Jim, just imposing their will on the Sun Devils. Big chunk plays for the Ravens, 10 yards and a 1st down here.
Well, and now is not really the time to start backing off on it. And unfortunately, the Sun Devils really need to stand their ground and be able to make these stops and get these guys to convert to 4th down where they can do something with it. But, the Ravens obviously not giving them an opportunity.
Well, the Ravens continue this drive as they move the sticks 1st and 10. They now have the ball at the Sun Devil 38-yard line. And as we progress later and later into this third quarter, less than 3 minutes remaining in the third, the clock now becoming the friend of the Ravens. Clayton in the shotgun. He'll take the snap, hand off once again to number 5, Guy Tolliver. Tolliver breaks one tackle. He'll get inside the 35. An effective run there for the Ravens as Ricardo Gathers makes the stop after a gain of 4.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just trying to milk the clock out to the tune of 4 yards a carry, that makes for a long day on the Sun Devil sideline.
No, and if you're Coach Guy Tolliver Sr., I mean, that's exactly what you're trying to do here with 2:19 remaining in the third quarter, is 4 yards in a cloud of dust and just evaporate this clock out from under the Sun Devils and take this one to the barn. I mean, 21 points, a solid lead here late in the third.
Yeah, I mean, there's no real need to get carried away.
No need to pile on. Just do what you need to do and then start the celebration as it is. 3rd down, 6 yards to go now for the Ravens. Coming back in motion across the formation, Kingston Jefferson. And they'll get the Ravens for a false start. And I think maybe for 9-year-olds, that was a little bit too involved of a play call. Too much movement there. False start Ravens.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can take some liberties with the scoreboard in your favor, but you certainly want to be able to do that, but they need to execute.
No, you had mentioned that earlier in the game as we covered the end of the 8U game with the Colts and the Cowboys, and as the timeout was taken there in the 8U game by the Colts coach John Hulsey, your thought there that he might try to get Aaron Rainish to overcoach the situation, and that might be what God Tolliver is doing here with his offense with 80 ticks remaining in the third. Yeah,
I mean, now you have the luxury of trying to promote growth, and game situations definitely that time.
And Nash Clayton with the keeper. He'll try to turn the corner, does so, cuts back against the grain. And the Sun Devil defense will converge, making the tackle number 7, Ryan Alexander. And we'll take a look at the play here. A nice gain by Clayton. He'll gain 4 on the play.
Tribute to Alexander. I mean, he kind of got juked there in the backfield, and great pursuit to come after the ball and at least get in and make some noise on that bring down.
Clayton there able to get around the outside of the cornerback, Ryan Jane. And as you said, the juke earlier on Alexander, but Alexander pursuing that play and stayed with it to make the tackle and limit Clayton to a gain of only 4. As now the Ravens face 3rd down and 6 with 20 seconds to play in the third quarter. The shadows starting to loom large here in Kuykendall Stadium as we are late on a Saturday afternoon here on Championship Saturday from Frisco, Texas. Clayton looking to throw. He'll take a 7-step drop, now step up in the pocket. Still on his feet, waiting for a whistle on the officials, and we finally get one as the horn sounds, ending our third quarter of play. A sack for the Sun Devils. Give that sack to number 78, 78, Cade Bassam. And the Sun Devils will have forced 4th down on the Ravens when we come back with the fourth quarter. Folks, stay with us here on Championship Saturday, live from Kuykendall Stadium as Game On Sports continues to bring live coverage throughout the day of the 2023 Frisco Football League Championships. And ladies and gentlemen, your score as we head to the fourth quarter in our 9 and under championship game. It's Ravens 21, Sun Devils 0. We'll be back with the fourth quarter after this short break here on Game On Sports Network.
At Children's Hunger Fund, there is a new way to deliver hope. With Virtual Food Pack, you can help a child in need from your screen. Click to begin packing. Choose the region you want to support. Read the stories of children you will impact across the U.S. or around the world. Next, select the number of food packs you would like to provide. Now it's off to the distribution center to prepare the food packs. Your filled food packs will be delivered to a local church where pastors and church volunteers will take them directly to a home of a child in need. You can deliver hope right now with Virtual Food Pack.
Refresh is a local nonprofit with a mission to ensure that every child in our community has access to personal hygiene items. We achieve this mission by providing students with customized packs filled with full-size hygiene products every 3 months. We believe that every child deserves to feel clean and confident because when a child feels good about themselves on the outside, it helps them to feel good on the inside as well. Help us keep our local kids feeling clean and confident by volunteering or donating today.
This game is brought.
Folks, we welcome you back here to Kuykendall Stadium alongside Jim Dixon, Brian Shackelford here to bring you the fourth quarter of our 9 and under championship game between the Ravens and the Sun Devils. On the first play of the fourth quarter, the pass from Nash Clayton. Looking on the far side for number 2, Levi Delgadillo. And Delgadillo unable to catch the pass. It's short from Clayton, and that will make it first down for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, that play kind of got stretched out a little bit where they were running out of room and found themselves with heavy coverage on everything and just kind of took that first stopgap and unable to convert.
And now with 7:52 remaining in our fourth quarter, the Sun Devils take over on downs at their own 36-yard line. And Jim, I don't think it's too early to say that this is a must-score possession for the Sun Devils.
No, they need to, if they're going to stay in this thing and 3 scores is not out of the stretch, and they need to be able to convert and get in the end zone.
And the screen pass complete as Fitzgerald Hatley will hit Ricardo Gathers, but as he takes off, he has his feet taken out from underneath him with the stop. I believe that's number 17, Knox McCutcheon. We'll check the replay, and it looked like Gathers had one man to beat, and he was gone to the house, but McCutcheon saved the day for the Ravens.
Yeah, and the Sun Devils need to, they need to take adjust tempo, do some small thing that's gonna get them that little string of momentum.
And now 2nd down and 8 as Fitzgerald Hatley running for his life in the backfield, trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He won't get there. He'll be sacked on the play. He eludes 2 would-be Raven tacklers, but does not get away from the third man. Number 25, Elliott Brown. And we have an injured Sun Devil down on the turf after a loss of 5. And we'll check the replay here on the sack as Hatley goes down. And make that number 22, Wesley Randolph, with his first sack of the game for the Ravens.
But great pursuit from the Ravens on
they've just been swarming the whole game.
Great lane discipline, great way to converge on the ball, and just doing a great job of shutting every outlet down for them.
No, and that's been a key here in this game, and give credit to the Ravens defensive coordinator, and hopefully we get another opportunity with Jeremy Beadling to speak with Coach Guy Tolliver. But the defensive work that the Ravens coaching staff has done with these young men, because it's the lane of attack. You mentioned it just a moment ago, Jim. They come in from 3 separate angles. I used to teach this with the kids when I coached youth football. It was all about triangulation. You come at them from 3 different angles, and there's nowhere for the running back to go. And that's exactly what these Raven defenders are doing. They pursue coming in from all lanes. There's no open lane for the Sun Devil running back to find any daylight.
No, and they have great pursuit discipline. They're running to where the ball runner is going. They're not chasing. Trying to catch him. They're cutting him off before he gets there, and that's part of what that's part of that little step of discipline, or that step of technique that you're not seeing from the Sun Devils side. And again, you never know what's going on with these kids, and if if you're having a group of kids that all had a bad day or what's going on, but you're not seeing that on that side, and they're not there, but they'll get there. But they're also they were not even thought to be here, so congratulations to them.
No, I mean it would not be out of the realm to say that the Sun Devils have definitely overachieved in the playoffs. They came into the playoffs as the number 7 seed with a 3-5 record, and 2 stunning upsets to put them here in the championship game. As Ryan Alexander is helped off the field for the Sun Devils, will resume play at 3rd down and 11. And Fitzgerald Hatley sacked for the 4th time today, and this time with the sack for the Ravens. It's number 17, Knox McCutcheon, his 2nd sack of the ball game.
Yeah, and again, great pursuit. Way to, the way that the Ravens did that was that, if we could see this on replay, they basically just cut the field right there by a third. Stretched the play out and kept pursuing the ball, and, wrapped up, made the tackle, did the discipline thing.
And that has been one of the keys here in this championship game this afternoon at Kuykendall Stadium. The lateral speed and the pursuit of the Ravens has just been devastating for the Sun Devils.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't even know that it's speed. I think if you line these kids up in a foot race, it'd be a 50-50.
I'm going to disagree with you there, Jim.
Whatever distance.
Well, I think there's 2 or 3 guys that could do that. Maybe Fitzgerald Hatley, Ricardo Gathers, but I can go down the list there. We've seen 5 or 6 guys show the kind of speed here, especially lateral quickness side to side, that the Sun Devil running backs have shown here in this game. I think it's just they're overmatched on lateral speed and quickness.
Again, that's probably a fair assessment. but I think it's just the discipline of being.
That's the key. You are right, sir.
Of being able to just cut the
angles of pursuit.
I'm going to cut the field in half. If they know what they're supposed to accomplish and they're playing, bad news.
That's tough to overcome if you're the opponent.
Yeah. Now, if you're playing loose and you want to get above your skis and call a tackle eligible without you're the only guy that knows, then you got problems. But I've not seen that discipline breakdown out of this Ravens club on one single stat, so I don't expect that.
Nash Clayton and company now have the ball 1st and 10. And the handoff there on the jet sweep once again to Aiden Genis. And Genis already with 2 touchdowns in the game. He'll cut that back inside. Get inside the 23-yard line of the Sun Devils, or down inside the 25 to the 23-yard line, and give Genis a gain of 4 on the play. And most importantly for the Ravens, the clock continues to run as we pass the midway point of our 4th quarter.
Yeah, and again, the Ravens are playing loose and are able to do what they want to do, whereas the Sun Devils are trying to they're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, unfortunately, and they're in this unenviable position where they can't really get anything going and don't really haven't had that one catalyst to develop traction from.
And we'll see how that continues here as the Ravens have 2nd down. We'll call it a long 7, cutting back against the grain. Big running room here for the Ravens. They take the ball all the way down near the 13-yard line. With the carry, that's number 5, Guy Tolliver. And Tolliver with a big run there as the Ravens are trying to put this game out of reach with 5:18 to play.
Yeah, see, you can see this. I mean, the whole outside opened up. The pursuit, that pursuit was from the backside of the Sun Devils, and great pursuit, but that's not where it's supposed to come from.
No, it's not supposed to come from the backside. It's supposed to be more like what the Ravens defense has been doing all game. And as you said, getting in front of the running back and cutting the field in half and in thirds and limiting where the running back can go.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that's done by design, but I don't know that these kids are grasping what they're doing. They're just doing it very well.
Well, I mean, that's the first step to it, is if you don't understand it, just do it, and perhaps the understanding will come later. But either way,
I'll explain later.
Yeah, whether it's the chicken or the egg first, the Ravens are getting things done here, and they're knocking on the door at the 4-yard line as they have 1st down and goal following that last run. Clock moving with 4:20 to play in the ball game, and this could be the coup de grace for the Ravens.
Oh yeah, I think this punch in, and well, I mean, I think it would take a cataclysmic shift for the Sun Devils to get this thing going. They have to overcome momentum is the most telling thing, and quite frankly, they're playing with a lot of it right now.
1st and goal, Ravens at the 4-yard line. Nash Clayton will keep coming to the near side. He'll cut back inside, stretching for the goal line. And the officials' arms are in the air. Touchdown, Ravens. Nash Clayton with his 2nd touchdown of this championship game. And we'll watch the replay here as Nash Clayton goes in from 4 yards out.
Again, great pursuit from the backside, but that's where the Sun Devils defense is getting shut down off the line of scrimmage, and just unfortunately they're getting closed out, and that's where that backside pursuit's having to come, and these kids have to recognize the ball, they have to adjust to it, and then they have to pursue. And you're giving up yards every time you have to make that transition.
Indeed you do, and that has been to the detriment of the Sun Devils this afternoon, as the Ravens will now line up for the extra point, as the clock now running with less than 3 minutes to play in the ball game. Ball set at the 3-yard line for the conversion attempt. Clayton throwing into the end zone, and that pass just off the fingertips of the receiver, falling incomplete, and the extra point is no good. And ladies and gentlemen, your score, as we have 2.5 minutes remaining in the 9U championship game here at Kuykendall Stadium. It's now Ravens 27, Sun Devils 0. And the pass there on the extra point attempt, we just saw it on the replay, just a little bit too far for Jackson Tucker to bring that in for a 2-point conversion.
Yeah, I mean, it just played out. The receiver just had to stretch it out a little bit too far, and we'll just see. We'll see what the Sun Devils can draw up here, and see if they can find that element to build transition or traction from.
Indeed, now they're playing for 2024 at this point as the clock moves with 2 minutes remaining. 1st and 10 for the Sun Devils at their own 25-yard line. As Fitzgerald Hatley still under center for the Sun Devils. And the pass complete. Ricardo Gathers. And Gathers has just not been able, they've run that screenplay several times, and Gathers has just not been able to break loose and get away from the line of scrimmage. Give the tackle there to number 6, Thomas Manzanera.
Well, he gets the ball settled, and he has to look up, and he's got to beat 2 guys at least.
Yeah, every time he's had to at least beat 2 guys, if not more.
Every time there's at least that to overcome, and that's a tough road to hoe.
No, that's a tough road to hoe for any situation, much less here in youth football. And as we move inside the final minute of our 4th quarter, it's 2nd down, 12 yards to go for the Sun Devils. And the Sun Devils waiting to run the play as they look to the sideline for when to make this play call. 40 seconds to play in the ball game. And Fitzgerald Hatley will just take the sneak forward to the 25-yard line, as it appears that Coach Buddy Neighbor has waved the white flag, and he will allow time to expire here in the 9U championship game.
Yeah, I mean, with 24 seconds, great show of sportsmanship to do that, but great game for the Ravens. They played a very disciplined approach. They executed. They hit on all cylinders, and they came up long on the day. That's for sure.
And ladies and gentlemen, the horn sounds ending this afternoon's game. Ladies and gentlemen, we've reached the end of the 9U championship game here at Kuykendall Stadium, part of Frisco Football League Championship Saturday on Game On Sports. And ladies and gentlemen, your final score here from Kuykendall Stadium in the 9U championship: Ravens 27, Sun Devils 0. And your Ravens are the 2023 Frisco Football League 9 and under division champions.
Yeah, again, great day of football, and this is a great game, and I albeit the score is rather lopsided, but to look at the Sun Devils coming in, kind of where they started out to produce the 2 victories that they needed, that's probably more telling than the score indicates.
No, indeed, and I know those young men are disappointed as they head back to the sideline, but I'll be the first person to tell you that Buddy Neighbor's squad has no reason to hang their head today, as you usually don't expect the number 7 seed coming into the playoffs to pull off 3 massive upsets and take the league championship. They were able to get 2 of them done, and those young men over there on that sideline should be proud of their effort to get into this championship game this afternoon against the Ravens.
Yeah, for sure.
And folks, we're going to close out here from our 3rd game of 5 on the day, but folks, stay with us here as Game On Sports. We're going to take a short break and turn it over to FFL Sports Center. Stepping in for pregame for the next game, it'll be Tim Cagney and Adam Bird. They'll get you set for our penultimate game of the day here at Kuykendall Stadium, the 10 and under tackle division championship between the Cowboys and the Raiders. So stay with us. We'll have more Frisco Football League Championship Saturday coming up after this short break on Game On Sports.
At Children's Hunger Fund, there is a new way to deliver hope. With Virtual Food Pack, you can help a child in need from your screen. Click to begin packing. Choose the region you want to support. Read the stories of children you will impact across the U.S. or around the world. Next, select the number of food packs you would like to provide. Now it's off to the distribution center to prepare the food packs. Your filled food packs will be delivered to a local church where pastors and church volunteers will take them directly to a home of a child in need. You can deliver hope right now with Virtual Food Pack.
Since 1947, Kilwin's chocolates, ice cream, and confections all served with exceptional service. Our core values are clear. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, always give it your best, and most importantly, have fun. Kilwin's is where people come to celebrate, enjoy a vacation from the ordinary, and share life's sweet moments in a nostalgic American atmosphere. Visit us at Kilwin's Plano in the Shops of Legacy, located next door to True Lux Plano. Kilwin's, a proud sponsor of the FFL.
Rock stars of tomorrow, more than just music lessons.
Come strike up some fun. At Strikes, our premier entertainment attractions offer endless fun for everyone. Let the good times roll with bowling, axe throwing, arcade games, and more. While you play, enjoy delicious eats with lane-side service so you don't miss the fun. Looking to host an event? Our Rose Room is the perfect place for any party. Plan your party or book online today at strikes.com.
This game is brought to you by Blingle Lighting, Frisco's premier outdoor lighting company. Visit blingle.com/Frisco-Texas or call 972-433-6126 for a free consultation today.
Since 1947, Kilwin's chocolates, ice cream, and confections all served with exceptional service. Our core values are clear. Treat others as you'd like to be treated, always give it your best, and most importantly, have fun. Kilwin's is where people come to celebrate, enjoy a vacation from the ordinary, and share life's sweet moments in a nostalgic American atmosphere. Visit us at Kilwin's Plano in the Shops of Legacy, located next door to True Lux Plano. Kilwin's, a proud sponsor of the FFL.